Take a look at some of the posters in this video made by students in the early days on the postgraduate contemporary issues in sexual health course. Now those students did it all online and we never had the opportunity to meet face to face, but you can see the great range of posters that they've done, some of them aiming at professional conferences, some at academic and some for their own service areas. It would be probably wrong for me to say that I've got some real favourites amongst the students' posters, but I've got to say that this one is right up there. This poster was developed by a student who had never done this sort of thing before. When she showed her formative work halfway through, it showed that there were areas that she could develop even more with it, and so she did. And when she presented this at a conference, she won the prize for the best produced poster. It was developed for a professional nursing conference, and you can see that the student who produced this has actually conceptualized it in two different ways, looking at heart and head. And there's only one tiny little thing I can say on there that could have led to an improvement, and that is that she could have written the word human papillomavirus just once, because it's not on there. So if anybody doesn't know what the abbreviation stands for, they wouldn't learn it. But that's the only thing. One of our other early students, Kylie Hoban, she produced this poster and then went on to write an article for an international journal based on the research that she did for her MA. And that was focusing on the role of religions in sexual health services. And she called her poster here, Holy Hatred. Notice the difference from the very first poster, which was a lot of graphic images with few words on there, and now this one is increasingly showing more and more words, and there's some data on there represented as a pie chart. So when you're judging your audience, whether it's a professional conference or academic, of course one may allow more graphic images whilst the other wants more text. And this poster was done by somebody called Vicky Dixon. And she was looking at the very controversial issue, the role of men's voices or male voices within the whole subject area of abortion. And she looked at what feminist authors were saying on this, and then she compared that to some masculinity studies resources, and she produced this amazing poster. Like almost all of the other students on this early contemporary issues in sexual health course, she had never produced a poster before. And when she did this, she had to write a 1,500 word extended abstract with it as well, which was so brilliant that I encouraged her to write this up as an article. So she'd never produced a poster, never written an article before, and she got the article published. The article was then spotted by a nursing organisation. And the nursing organisation contacted Vicky and asked her whether she would present at their annual conference. She was quite nervous to do so because she'd never done anything like this before. But when she agreed, they then turned around and asked her would she be the keynote presenter. So from this one assignment at university, she designed her first poster, got her first article published, and became a keynote speaker at a national conference. And in this poster, when you consider what I talk about as the wow effect, something drawing you in from the distance, it's this lovely image of an older couple standing with a big box of chocolates and nice big red writing saying, what else did Edward give to Sheila? And it's only when you move in close that you see the text then. And that's talking about sexual infections in old people. This was made for an academic conference and all of the sections had to be completed. And this poster for a very different audience. This could actually be displayed in a public venue. And when you look at it, just focus into what's going on in the background, and you can see it's people at some sort of disco or rave or whatever they're called. People are there and there are strobe lights coming out from the ceiling. And what the student has done is to take the motif of the strobe light and then to write across those colour images the various key themes that came out of the literature that he read on the lack of use of condoms in public sex environments. This next image is obviously from a more academic conference again, because it follows the clear layout of the required sections that's often asked for by academic conferences. And you can see one good little piece of ethical practice here, where the student has covered over the word of the condom manufacturer so as not to be advertising one particular brand. And let's end with this image, which was done by some colleagues of one of our students. They saw her designing her poster and thought it looked great fun, and they wanted to have a go as well. So they looked at the role of condoms, especially within male prisons, and their local NHS service decided to publish these as their formal health promotion posters for condom use.